Lux your way with the Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. There's the classic $5 box, the indulgent $7 box, and a whole new obsession in the $9 box, the Flamin' Hot Grilled Cheese Burrito. Try the Lux Cravings boxes at Taco Bell today.
How's your day going?
Going good, thank you, yes.
Check out the all-new Blue and Orange store at the Boise State Hall of Fame. The Blue and Orange store has your best game day gear. We're talking jerseys, hats, bumper stickers, car flags, more than 4,000 hats on the hat wall. If you want the best Boise State gear, make sure you check out the Blue and Orange store online at theblueandorangestore.com or the all-new Blue and Orange store down at the Boise State Allen Noble Hall of Fame.
As sports fans, we may cheer for different teams, but there's one thing that we can all agree on. We want the game to be big. And with 3 levels, 30 cabanas, a 143-foot screen, 6 clean pools, and endless cold drinks, it doesn't get any bigger or any better than Stadium Swim in Las Vegas. All sports, all seasons. It's more than a pool deck. Stadium Swim. It's the only thing like it in the world.
Bronco Nation will not score. Jackson pours. Each game I score a touchdown. Head to Jackson's on Monday for a 49-cent fountain drink with Let's Go rewards. And don't forget your free banana, Jackson's. Let's go.
It's the all-wheel drive event at Lithia Ford of Boise. From hunting trips to ski trips to trips to Grandma's house. Nobody does AWD like LFB, Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
Find your sun with Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. Cold, refreshing, and made for moments like these all year long. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust rowpaint.com to get that job done right.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live is the only daily show that talks nothing but Boise State sports. And we do it with you. Give us your comments or questions in the ICCU YouTube chat. Or leave us a voicemail on the Signature Roofing voice inbox at speakpipe.com/BNN. BNN Live is presented by our title sponsor, RowPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, and our major sponsors, Jackson's, Taco Bell, Idaho Central Credit Union, Lithia Ford of Boise, and the Blue and Orange Store. For more coverage of Boise State athletics, check out the all-new BroncoNationNews.com, now part of the 247 Sports family. Now, here's 5-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
All right, welcome on into a special edition of Bronco Nation News Live. We are here at Lithia Ford of Boise. Mike Prater, BJ Rains. It's Friday. It's game day. I know it's a little wet. It's a little rainy, Mike Prater, but we're starting. I couldn't think of a better way to start off our day here on Mountain West Championship Day than at Lithia Ford of Boise.
Holy cow, it is Championship Friday here in Boise, and this is spectacular. So everybody wakes up today and a little bit of extra bounce in the step and lots of stuff going on today. You and I are going to be busy. We're going to be doing this for like the next 12 to 14 hours, and I couldn't think of a better way to start. Nicely done, my friend.
Now, we're here for a couple of different reasons. Well, three, four, I could think of many. We love Jim Sturk. I love Lithia Ford. We appreciate them for their sponsorship of Bronco Nation News, and he was one of the first guys when I wanted to start this this company that I went and talked to, and he gave me my silly, dumb idea a chance and came on board as a sponsor. And so we appreciate them. They're our pregame show sponsors. And obviously, they do so much for Boise State as well, one of the biggest supporters of Boise State athletics. But they've got two things going on, and we're going to talk a lot about the game. We got a lot of, diehard football talk to get into, Mike, and talk about your column. But I did want to mention two things they have going on, one of which you guys are involved with, the toy drive.
Yeah, it's pretty spectacular. And everybody has a toy drive these days. This one's a little bit special because of the involvement with Boise State. And you're right over there on that wall, official sponsor, Boise State Athletics, and pictures all over them. This is like a mini Boise State little museum. And it's more than just football. It's athletes all across the board. And they're bringing back to the community, doing good things. Tomorrow's a big day. You can do things here all the way up until Friday. Bring us a toy. Till Monday.
Yes.
Bring us a toy. And not us. You and I don't need a toy. We have plenty of toys in our life, and but we're looking to change kids, change lives, and enjoy this great day, enjoy this great celebration.
If you bring us a toy in the next 45 minutes or so while we're on the air here, Mike Prater, I do have some gift cards to the James Kitchen and Bar near Albertson Stadium. $25 gift card to the James. I mean, just get a $25 toy, and then you get a fair trade there. But we're hoping folks come by. We already have 4 or 5 huge boxes full of toys already. You can see some over here on the front of the Ford Bronco. Here looks like Bob Beeler's vehicle here, by the way.
Yes, it does.
Nice Ford Bronco. So you can come bring a toy. As Prater said, all the way till Sunday. We're excited about the toy drive and helping some kids that need some toys and need to have a nice Christmas. So if you can bring a toy, again, they've got boxes here. You can just stop by anytime. You said through Sunday, through Monday?
Through Monday. End of business on Monday.
Okay, so bring the toys through the end of the business day on Monday. There's boxes right here. You can put them in. Like I said, if you make it in the next 45 minutes or so, we can give you a gift card and help you out. And as you mentioned, Mike, you see behind us a pretty cool backdrop here with all the NIL athletes that they have at Boise State. I mean, they were the first. Remember, it goes back to Riley Smith. They were the very first business in the Boise area that was able to record a commercial and a promo with a Boise State player on an NIL deal in their jersey, in their uniform, on the blue turf. They did that with Riley Smith. They've now expanded that to a number of athletes that you see up here, various sports, female student athletes, golfers, volleyball players, basketball players. And as you said, they've got the old Sports Illustrated. My man cave could use some of this stuff over here, Mike, but they got the Kellen over there. Yep. But really cool. And as part of tomorrow, as you mentioned, 2 to 4, the 4 football NIL players are going to be here. So perfect time to bring a toy tomorrow. Bring your kids up here tomorrow, and between 2 and 4, no charge. It's free. Just come in, bring a toy, and maybe check out a vehicle if you'd like. But Cage Casey, one of his last public appearances in Boise, probably.
Yep.
Matt Lauder, Latrell Caples, Roger Carrion. You want to come see some of these guys and thank them for 4, 5, 6 years here in Boise, and Latrell Caples' case 6 years. And again, get some pictures, get some autographs. I think they've got some mini footballs they're going to be signing. So hopefully they win the championship tonight. I don't know if Jim's got enough pull to get the trophy here tomorrow or not, but if they win. But you can come hang out tomorrow, meet some football players, 2 to 4, and while you're at it, bring a toy with you as well.
Yeah, even a chance to win a football.
6 of them. They're raffling off 6 of these tomorrow. And but thanks for reminding me, all the autographs that are on here. You've got Amarion McCoy, Roger Carrion, Braxton Feely is on here. There's Latrell Caples as well. All their NIL guys, Matt Lauder, and all those guys. So. Yeah, and they've added some extra ones, like we said, with McCoy and Feely and some of these guys. So 6 autographed footballs with some Boise State players. Those will be available from 2 to 4, and probably going to see Mike Prater in line for some autographs tomorrow.
I don't know about that. Maybe Cage Casey. I have a big crush on that. And actually, my favorite offensive lineman these days is Roger Carrion. The way that guy played at Utah State. Would they pick him up off the grass 6 different times?
Yep.
Carted him over the sidelines, and 3 plays later, he was back on the field. And just the gutsy effort. That entire effort last weekend in Logan was gutsy, and I think Roger Carrion was the poster boy of that game. So hopefully he can play tonight. Hopefully he can walk tomorrow. Love what that guy is doing.
Well, I hope you can hear us okay, see us okay. We got a wider shot than usual, which is probably doing us favors, Mike.
and the people watching, less Prater, more Christmas trees.
Yes. We have a fest. I got here this morning about 7:45 to set up, and they had this great setup here for us with a Bronco Sport. They've got the Christmas tree. I said, we got to get all this in the shot here. So we're a little further away from the camera than usual, but hopefully you can see us okay, hear us okay, and we're excited for tonight, Mike. We're excited for, obviously, the toy drive, for tomorrow's autograph session, but obviously the main focus is tonight's game, 6 o'clock, I believe 6:08 is the exact kickoff, nationally televised on Fox, the Mountain West Championship game. Boise State looking for 3 straight on the way out the door here to the Pac-12. UNLV has lost 10 straight to Boise State. They've lost twice in the championship game. They're ready to kind of get a little revenge here. Obviously already lost on the blue earlier this year, but who would have thought we would have been here a couple weeks, Mike Prater, but here we are, and it's going to be a lot of fun tonight.
There's an overused phrase in sports. It's called team of destiny. And I don't think Boise State's a team of destiny. They're like a team of guts. They're like a team of cat lives, and they just never die. They just never give up. We thought Boise State football was out 6 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, and even maybe at halftime last week in Logan. And all of a sudden, this team just continues to do what it has to do. So I think this is a team of destiny. Doesn't have a lot of substance. What Boise State football is doing right now has a lot of substance, because it's all about heart and character and just getting the job done. And they're getting the job done. I have a hard time I have a hard time trying to figure out tonight's game. By the way, in those 10 games, Boise State's won 9 of them by double digits. The average margin of victory for Boise State in the last 10 games against UNLV is 21.2 points. Wow. We saw what happened last time that they were here on the field. Boise State just crushed these guys. The line then was 13.5. Now it's 3.5. It's a lot different. Last year was a celebration night. I have a feeling tonight's going to be a little bit more stressful, but I think Boise State's going to pull it off, but this sucker's going to be close. Yeah, and we talked about it. You spent your whole show yesterday talking about yesterday's or last year's game and just the magical moment that will never be topped. And I still think, and maybe I'm prisoner of the moment, Mike, but in my 13 years covering the team, that moment right before halftime when Ashton Genty broke off that, what was it, 75 yards, touchdown run right before halftime to put him up 21-0, get his yards. I think that for me might have been the single loudest moment I've ever heard in the stadium in my 13 years of covering games there. And so it was a magical moment. And I guess I bring that up, Mike, because I just don't think we're going to get that tonight. I mean, I think those that show up are going to be loud. They're the diehards that are going to show up. I bought 10 tickets last night for my kid and some of his friends, and they're going to go to the game tonight, or at least go to the first half. I would assume. We'll see with the weather, but there were a decent number of tickets still available online. I don't think they're going to quite get to the sellout, which I know they really wanted to push the oh, here we go, we got Robbie Robinson coming by. Did you just put a toy in the toy? Did you put a toy in there? What'd you bring, man? Let's see what you got. Come on. We'll put him on the spot here. Better be a nice toy if we're there we go. Look, bring that over here. Look at this. Robbie Robinson. Look at that. Appreciate you, man. Come on up here to the front here and come up here, turn around here. Let's see what you got here. A little drone. Look at this little drone here. Come. Look at that. It's even branded a Ford Mustang.
There he knows what he's talking about here. So how about that, man? We appreciate you, Robbie, big supporter of BNN, always stopping by. Give us a quick thought on the game tonight, man. How you feeling about Boise State?
Well, I'm feeling pretty dang good about it. But if I have one key to the game, I've been thinking about this all morning because I had a feeling you were going to do this. But as far as the Maddox Madsen, Max Cutforth, dealio, Boise State, we need to be loud whoever pops up on that screen when they announce starters. This is a moment that these kids are never going to forget. And that can make a huge impact on the game to know that the fans are behind them regardless. And so no matter what, I don't want to hear any of that boo stuff that happened when Bachmeier went down or, super excited when Green came in, anything like that. Just be behind our starter and go absolutely make it hell for them, home for us, as JD says.
And I know you're not worried about, you'll be out there in the rain tonight, right?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you coming by, man.
Well said, brother.
There's
well said,
$25 to the James. Appreciate you, Robbie. Big supporter. Comes up to watch a lot of the shows there at the James. So thanks a lot for stopping by, man. Appreciate you. And that's a pretty cool remote control car there. How about the drone over there as well? So that's awesome, man. Bringing us some toys up here during the show, and that's really cool to see. So thank you, Robbie. Appreciate you for that. But I was mentioning just the weather. Yeah. A lot of factors tonight. I don't think they're going to quite get to the sellout, which I know they're pushing for. But with how cold it is, the rain, not as much on the line as last year. It's going to be a different kind of atmosphere. Still a good atmosphere, but it's not going to be what it was last year.
No, I agree. And, like I said, last year was a celebration. And tonight I think is going to be stressful. But that's okay. It's championship games are supposed to be stressful. And maybe Boise State plays a good enough of a football game where this thing is comfortable in the second half and everybody can kind of just enjoy. I would love to see a nice, tight game. just because, the elements you talked about, the lateness and everything. And if Boise State does what it did a couple months ago against UNLV, I don't want to see that stadium empty. And nobody's going to beat people up for sitting out in the rain for 3.5 hours. That's a tough ask tonight. And you're right. The hardcores are going to be there. That first half is going to be incredibly loud. I would just like to have this championship celebration moment after the game's over and have it be relevant, have it be cool. It won't match what happened last year. There's not going to be Urban Meyer. Post Malone's not going to show up. The goalpost isn't going to end up in the river, I don't think. You never know.
Jeremiah did kind of say on our show yesterday, hey, maybe come on the field, but not necessarily the goalpost coming down. But
yeah, last year they had replacement goalposts already ordered, so they were okay with it. This year they don't, and they might have to go off and order new goalposts. But hey, if it happens, it happens. Everybody's ready for it. I cannot wait to see what happens tonight.
All right, I like surprises, Mike Prater, so I got to get you a little bit. You made some comments at Mountain West Media Days about New Mexico. And I don't know if you remember that or not. 10 players, by the way. First of all, back to last place. I don't think Jeff Choate minds that one bit that they're picked last.
Oh, he's the bitter chip on the shoulder guy, and he can pull it off. Now, I guarantee you Jason Eck's going to try to pull that off too, but he's not going to be anywhere near as good at it as Jeff Choate. Jeff Choate will turn that sucker. He'll put that in a blender, and he'll just spit that sucker all over everybody's face. I don't know how many teams he's going to beat, but because his roster took a beating in the offseason, I think he's going to be a grinder of enough of a coach where he's going to get a couple of wins. I'm not sure Jason Eck's going to be able to do that in year one at New Mexico.
Now, that's kind of a tough call there on New Mexico. And obviously, those comments kind of made the rounds a little bit, Mike. And we had a friend that wanted to pop on the show today and give you some crap for the comments here. We got the head coach at the University of New Mexico, Jason Eck, joining us. Jason, thanks for joining us. And how we doing?
Hey, Prater, I just hope you didn't bet any of your hard-earned money in Vegas at that stuff now on those future bets, because we ended up finding the 9 wins this year, so it wasn't too bad. We found a few more than a couple, but had to give you a hard time, brother. And
yeah, no, there's a reason why I stopped betting like 3 years ago, because of stupid decisions and stupid things I say like that. I've already apologized to you once publicly involving your son, where I said I was kind of curious as to why you brought him to media days, and now all of a sudden he's the defensive player of the year, and very worthy of it, by the way. And yeah, I did question your roster. I never questioned you as a coach. I just figured it would take 2 years to get it done. Dude, you got it done in 4 months. Spectacular job, and I'll eat all the crow that I possibly can. And kudos not only to you, but your son, your family, and the whole New Mexico football family.
I don't know, Jason. I just hear backpedaling after backpedaling here.
Hey, if he can backpedal that well, I mean that may be a key to victory in that championship tonight. Backpedaling like those good DBs from Boise, like Benefield and stuff. But
exactly.
Hey.
Yeah, no, I feel bad, but load me up, man. Load me up, and I'll take whatever beating I possibly can, because you deserve it, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, well, I appreciate it. Hey, you know what? When we started out 0-2 in the league, Prater, I thought you might have been right, but we got it figured out down the stretch, and proud of our team with what we did. Unfortunately, these tiebreakers didn't go our way, but I'll be fired up to tune into the game tonight. I think obviously Boise's got a heck of a team. I think that'll be a big boost for them getting their quarterback back. I really like Boise's defense. I think that's going to be the key matchup again. Trying to hold that explosive, attack from UNLV. I really think that Calandry is a great player.
Well, we Coach of the Year. Congratulations, Coach. We haven't mentioned that yet. Mountain West Coach of the Year. I thought the video your department put out of you finding out about that was really, really cool. Your son, the co-defensive player of the year, as Mike said. I mean, 2 huge honors there, 9 wins, like you said, and just a heck of a season. And regardless of what, I mean, you may have clipped Prater's comment, but I mean, no disrespect intended. He wasn't probably the only one. Not sure what you guys would have done this year. I mean, you proved a lot of people wrong, and I'm sure you were confident you could do it. But just give us one take on just this quickly, how you were able to get to 9 wins, how you were able to just change things down there and get back to the first bowl game in almost a decade down there.
Yeah, really my time in Idaho, I think, prepared me well for it, because it was kind of a similar story to how we turned things around there. But I think we got great buy-in from the players. I think we did a good job in the portal of kind of targeting some guys that we were able to get good value out of. A couple of them came with us from Idaho. We had a lot of production out of those 7 guys, but a guy like Damon Bankston, who ended up being first team all conference, coming in from Weber State, and I thought he'd do a heck of a job. Dorian Thomas was a guy who was from Seattle, who we had recruited out of high school. He went to Washington, not Washington. He went to Arizona, but didn't have a lot of success. But we had a relationship with him from recruiting him, and then he came out and had a great year and was first team all conference. And very appreciative to my staff. We put together a great staff that really bought in, and I think we improved as a team a lot throughout the year, and we needed to because we got our butts kicked pretty good on that blue, but we really improved over the stretch of the year to win some big games against UNLV and San Diego State down the stretch.
They didn't lose, Mike Prater, after that game in Boise.
No. And as I continue to suck up to Coach Jason Eck right now, we did, your boy and I, Johnny Ballgame, did a nice couple segments this week thinking the only thing that would make this championship game better would be if New Mexico was in it. And I know there was one chance over the weekend where we thought maybe that could happen and the computers didn't work out. I'm not going to ask you to react to what happened last weekend because I know you well enough to know that you're going to take what happened last weekend and spin it forward Jason Eck style. So how do you take what happened last week in terms of the season and make it better, turn it into a positive, tweak your schedule, tweak your roster? Because I know you're going to go into next year with, full bang. So how do you process what happened last week as you move forward?
Well, I told the team, obviously you have some things that happen in life. And again, we left it in some other people's hands. If we would have beat probably the game, we weren't really that close to beating the Broncos, but the game we probably could and should have won was at San Jose State. So I think we got to learn from that. And then, I think our bowl game is going to tell a lot because if we feel sorry for ourselves and don't have a great bowl prep and then lose our bowl game, I think that kind of is easy to say, hey, yeah, you're right. New Mexico clearly didn't belong in that championship game. If we go practice our tails off and use that disappointment as fuel and then go kick somebody's ass in the bowl game, now it's like, yeah, they probably should have been playing in that championship game. So I think where we go from here and, next year we will truly control our own destiny. We'll play every team in the conference after you guys and some of those other teams move out. So that won't be as much of an issue, but we got to keep learning from it and growing and control what you can control.
Well, Coach, a couple final things. We really appreciate you coming on. Give us, let's just start with UNLV. I'd like to get kind of the UNLV take and then a Boise State take. Just obviously you guys went over to Las Vegas, found a way to beat UNLV 40-35 earlier this season. From the UNLV perspective, coming to the Blue, they've already come to the Blue this year. It is going to be rainy and cold and probably won't be quite a sellout, crazy crowd, but it'll be a solid crowd tonight. Just from the UNLV perspective, for Boise State fans watching this show, what do they do well? What would concern you, for Boise State playing against UNLV? And then we'll flip it with the next question on Boise State.
I really think UNLV had as good of offense as anybody in our conference. And I think they got to do a great job containing the quarterback. And again, I really like the Boise State defensive line. Number 5 and number 90, I think are really great players. They have to do a great job of, keeping pass rush lanes and not letting him get out of the pocket and scramble. I did think the secondary from Boise was very good. So I think they'll have some opportunities where they can match up and man coverage on those receivers because UNLV really has good receivers because they have to limit the big plays. And that's I think that's how UNLV has kind of feasted this year is the big plays. And then that Jaden Thomas, you got to do a great job. I do think the O-line of UNLV is not their strongest point. So I think winning up front with the D-line could really be critical for Boise State. And, I think Boise State's got a good blitz package. The DC does a nice job. Chinchander, they do a good job of pressuring and they find a way to blitz and not give up big plays. So I think that's, holding them in check, I think is really critical. And then I do think the UNLV defense, it appears, has improved. Since we played them, we were able to score 40 points against them when we played them, but I think they're improving. I think McDuffie, their inside linebacker, is a good player. They number 30 is a really good edge rusher. I think the key is just consistently moving the ball, using their play action. I think they really do a good job. I think Madsen, just does a good job of running the show, and he does a good job. I think they do a good job of getting them out of the pocket. I think Boise has good skill. I think those backs from Boise are very good as well. I think they got to find a way to mix in the play action with their running attack and try to play on the lead against those guys. Because again, I think UNLV can be a tricky team if you get down against. You'd rather play on the lead against them, and they still can come back. We were up 21-0 on UNLV, and they came back and tied it against us.
Coach, the big part of your skill set as a coach is the mental game and getting inside the guys' 5-inch space between their ears and making sure everything's right up there. Are you a big believer in it's tough to beat somebody a second time around?
You know what? Not necessarily. You know, when I was in FCS ranks at like South Dakota State, we frequently played a team, again in the playoffs, North Dakota State or Northern Iowa there. I just think it's very different. And I think the coaching battle is really kind of special in these games because, if you do the exact same thing that worked last time, it's not going to be as successful because they're good coaches and they're going to make adjustments. But you kind of have to stay one step ahead and say, all right, this was something that worked against them last time. How can we disguise it but kind of do the same thing? How can we, find a way to take advantage of that same matchup? If it's a player-to-player matchup, how we can take advantage of it? And you really have to, try to project what are they going to do? And again, obviously, Boise scored 50 points on UNLV last time. I think UNLV is going to have a very different defensive game plan than what they did last time. They have to change it up. So I think that's the important thing for the staff at Boise is how are they going to play us differently and how can we be ready to attack that when they do that?
Well, Coach, final thing for you, and we really appreciate your time jumping on here, but it is going to be raining probably during the game. It is going to be cold. You've obviously, played here in Boise this year, just for Boise State fans kind of watching this. I mean, I think last time UNLV was here, they had 5 false starts. I don't remember how many, if you guys had any or not, but just the crowd, the atmosphere, a championship game, and for UNLV, even kind of holding out a small hope of a playoff spot, depending on what happens. I mean, a lot on the line in this game. What do you, what is it, as a visiting coach, visiting team coming up to Boise, what is that like? Is it all talk? Is it a real deal in terms of the blue and the home field advantage and the crowd? And how can that make a difference tonight? And what do you make of the weather? And if there's a team you think, if it is, raining throughout the game, that might benefit more from that?
Well, a couple things. One, it's a great atmosphere to play at Boise State. And I think their fans do make a difference. If you remember our game, we got to delay a game the first play of the game because the crowd was affecting us. So
that's right.
I think their fans can make a difference, and that's something that we're trying to build here. I mean, our fans ended up making a big difference in our game against San Diego State, but I think they definitely can impact the game. It's a little tricky now. It's a little quieter in the one end zone because of the construction. We kept ending up always in the end zone with people. If you can get a break sometime and get the ball down in the other end zone, it's a little quieter. But I think anytime you have a rain game, ball security is really going to be a big factor in that game. And, you even look at our game last week, which was a big game against San Diego State. We won the turnover battle 2-1, and that was a big factor. So I do think the ball security, very good running backs on both sides with both teams who can handle the exchanges better and protect it will be a big factor because you don't want to give, short fields away in those type of games.
Well, we appreciate you coming on, and just for full transparency here, Mike Prater. I mean, Jason Eck reached out to me and said, I got to give Prater some crap. Can I come on the show? I mean, I don't know how many visiting Mountain West coaches on game day want to come on to an opposing team's media outlet and talk. But so I mean, there's too many comments, Coach, for me to put. All the chat is loving you. They're all saying you guys got screwed. I mean, you already had a lot of fans in Boise, but you certainly have even more now. There's a lot of folks that are appreciative of you doing this, and really nice and cool. And we'll keep clipping off dumb stuff Prater says, because it happens pretty regularly.
Well, I'm going to miss playing you guys. Maybe some of your, I heard there might be a new bowl in like Colorado next year between the Mountain West champ and the Pac-12 champ. That'd be fun to
there you go.
Take on the Broncos again in the bowl game someday.
Well, Boise State still needs a game on its schedule next year, so hey, I'll drop.
No, we're not. No, I'm glad they're off the schedule. I'm only playing them in bowl games from here on out. They can go.
The check ain't worth that much. Coach, appreciate it. Best of luck getting ready for that bowl game. 9-3, Coach of the Year, heck of a year. Get that 10th win, get that bowl win, and we'll hope to catch up with you soon. We appreciate it, Coach.
Appreciate it, fellas. Take care.
There he is, Jason Eck, the head coach at New Mexico. And I don't know if you knew that was coming or not. But
no. First class, and lesson learned. Nicely done. I had no idea. That's a beautiful way to start Championship Friday. I love that very much.
I had my phone, and I got a DM, and it says it was from Jason Eck, and I was like, uh-oh. I was like, what did I say or do? And then
you're just like me when you get one of those texts. Like, what did I do now?
I had to make sure it was from the real. It wasn't a troll or something, but no, it was real, and he was in good fun, but he had the clip saved, so I don't know if someone sent him that at some point or not, but they did have a heck of a year, and I like the perspective he gave on this game tonight. Obviously, Mike, the ball security we saw in San Diego when it was pouring, and I guess that is one small thing. I don't know how UNLV's done this year, but Boise State played the entire San Diego State game in a driving rainstorm.
Yes.
Even in the Utah State game, it rained for a decent part of the second half, and there was at least one more game at some point where it sprinkled.
South Florida, the opener.
Okay.
Remember the whole prep, getting ready, the sky showers and all that kind of stuff?
I don't think it ended up during the game or anything, but there was another game or two where it at least sprinkled or something. So I don't know if that'll help or not. But like you said, the practice way back in August where they were doing this stuff. But you would think, Sire Gaines had a huge fumble in that game, which was at the Utah State game, I believe, when they were driving. There was a turnover or two, I believe, in the San Diego State game. So ball security tonight in the rain. And you would think, Mike, last time Boise State played UNLV, I think they rushed for almost 300 yards. Dylan Riley had 200 yards in that game. You would think on paper, I know they have a good running back as well in Thomas, but you would think if it was a rainy, ugly game with the crowd, with the defense, and with Boise State's ability to run the ball, you would, in my opinion, I think that would lean Boise State.
Yeah, I agree with that. And there's been a big emphasis this year, and it started, frankly, in the offseason to get Maddox Madsen to pass the ball more downfield. But based on what he's been doing the last month, nothing, rehabbing, getting ready. And based on the weather conditions tonight, maybe that short dink and dunk passing game that Boise State fans don't really like, that becomes affected tonight with the guys like Matt Lauder and the Cam Bates, and just get creative. So I think you could put the ball in Maddox Madsen's hands and go downfield and try to create some chunk plays, but you don't have to throw the ball 30, 40 yards down the field. Ball security and the wetness tonight, because I don't think it's going to stop raining. It may not come down in sheets like it did San Diego, but kind of like it is right now. It's just going to be rainy, wet, miserable, drizzly all day long, all night long. It's a 24-hour rainstorm, guys, and it's going to play a role in tonight's game. Boise State has to take care of the football. We talked to Maddox Madsen earlier this week. He seemed to be in good spirits, was having fun, joking about some of the videos that were out there and things like that of him at practice, and everybody analyzing whether he's 100% or not, and family members showing him the videos or friends because he's not on social media. But what do you expect from Maddox Madsen? This guy missed almost a month and didn't really practice until Monday. Monday was his first day. I guess Sunday they might have had a walkthrough or small practice, but he really, and he's been throwing a little on the side, but in terms of actually practicing with his team, you had the bye week, you had the San Diego State game, you had the Colorado State, and then Utah State. You're going 4 weeks, and all of a sudden in 4 days, they say he's throwing it good. I know Johnny noticed this, and I did think his ball looked, and we're trying to analyze, and who really knows? We're in an indoor practice, kind of looking at every single throw. There's no defense. I get it, but I thought he was throwing a pretty nice ball, and the arm looked pretty strong and pretty accurate. He said maybe that helped him a little bit to work with a foot, can fix some things, with his arm and his mechanics or whatever else. But what do you expect from Maddox Madsen? And Brad Bedell said, hey, if you're going with Maddox Madsen, there's no we're going to, a drive or two goes bad, you got to yank him. He thinks that that would just be a bad confidence build or whatever. He says if you're deciding it's Madsen, it is Madsen for this game, unless maybe it's 40-0 in the third quarter or something. But what do you expect from Madsen, and what do you make of them going to Madsen in this spot? Yeah, I'm perfectly comfortable with going with Madsen in this spot, and we've all been asked the same question over and over and over this week. How long is Maddox Madsen's leash? And I've been asked that question 30 times this week, and my answer 30 different times was, what leash? Maddox Madsen has no leash, guys. Now, I'm speaking from my opinion. I'm not speaking for Spencer Danielson's, but I think I feel pretty comfortable in saying that Spencer Danielson feels the same way, because Bedell's 100% right. You cannot make this decision and have any kind of a leash. The only leash for me is if it's physical. If maybe if he's struggling a little bit and all of a sudden he starts limping. Because if he struggles, nobody, I don't care what the murmurs are in Albertson Stadium, nobody's going to make a quarterback change until it's a 40-point blowout or we see some physical limitations that he just can't get the job done. My expectations for Maddox Madsen tonight are simple, and I'll sound like his coach. Heck, I'm going to sound like Spencer Danielson for a second. Just be you and just be clean. I don't think Maddox Madsen needs to be a hero tonight. He doesn't need to pass for 300 yards. He needs to play a clean game. To me, that's the most important word for Maddox Madsen tonight, a clean game. Don't make a lot of mistakes. Hand the ball off. Let the offensive line just impose its will. This is the type of game that Boise State defensively or offensively should be able to rush for 300 yards. And Maddox Madsen, the play action and just kind of playing off a little bit, a clean game. And that's exactly what I need from Maddox Madsen. Hey, we got another toy here. Come around here. Appreciate you for stopping by. Thanks to give us your name, and what do you think of the game tonight, by the way? This looks like a pretty sweet little thing here, man.
Nothing better than a blue rockin' Bronco.
Oh, look at that, a blue Bronco. I love that. Very cool.
How you feeling about the game tonight, man?
Feeling good. Yeah, we got tickets. Rain, shine, hurricane. We're going to be there.
Nice.
And what's your name, man?
Chris.
Chris, man, we appreciate you coming by. Here's $25 to the James for your generosity bringing this toy. You can set it right over there, maybe in front. And thanks a lot, man. Appreciate you coming by. Great to meet you, Chris. And that's pretty cool, man. So
Very creative. A blue Bronco. We've got the Ford Mustang.
You put the Bronco right by the Bronco. There we go. I like it.
There you go.
That's awesome.
Let's stick it right here. Yeah, get it right there. I want that right there in front of me, man.
That's awesome, man. Go a little more that way, so we're not blocking your shot.
There you go.
There we go. But there you go. How about that? We're getting a nice little. I still got 2 more gift cards. So if some more people want to stop by with some toys, we got about 20 minutes or so, Mike. But I forgot where I was going to go with my next question.
We were rounding up, wrapping up the Maddox Madsen conversation.
We were talking Maddox Madsen, and then we're talking defense. And I was going to try to play Dan Mullen's comments, but I don't know if I can get it fast enough. Dan Mullen talking after the game about that Boise State really had to change things up defensively. They blitzed way more than they normally do, and we take that as a sign of respect because that means they don't think they can just line up and play against us. You know me, I like to kind of see if anybody will say something. I tried with Shenander on Monday. He didn't really say much about it, but he probably chuckled when he heard it because a lot of it just factually wasn't true. Boise State blitzes as much as pretty much anybody, Mike, and so from that standpoint, it just wasn't necessarily even true to begin with. But what did you make of, again, they still scored 31 points in that game. UNLV did. It was 56-31. But what do you make of, I guess, just the laugh factor of those comments, but also Boise State's defense tonight trying to, handle Calandria and Thomas, and as you just heard Jason X say, some pretty strong receivers, which he did. He talked about liking Boise State's corners and secondary. Obviously Marion McCoy is now out, and that changes things in a big way.
Yeah, it really, truly does. I think UNLV is going to score as many points as they did last time. You said it was 31. It was definitely in the low 30s, and they're going to score 25 plus points. If you ask me, this offense is cranking. Calandria is playing great football. Thomas is kind of up and down, and you never not quite know what you're going to be able to get from him. And I think Boise State can neutralize him a little bit. So, yeah, it's just a matter of what Boise State's offense can do. I think Boise State's defense is playing well. But this is going to be a heavyweight title fight between Boise State's defense and UNLV's offense. I cannot wait to see what Calandria does as the Mountain West Player of the Year, and if he can live up to that kind of reputation. The back half of Boise State's defense, even with some personnel losses, has been playing spectacular for the last month. I mean, Demario Warren, shockingly, might be the coach of the year on this Boise State staff. The way he's developed, not only Monday through Friday, but the schemes and the way that these guys go on Saturdays and game days. So I'm looking forward to that matchup. I think Boise State's got a little bit more strength there. But there's no doubt in my mind that UNLV is going to get high 20s, somewhere in the 30s. Boise State has to match that.
Now, we talked about analyzing every throw that Maddox Madsen made in practice. I was also watching the wide receivers. And let's go back to the offense for Boise State again, because Chris Marshall, 6 targets in that last game, no catches. I mean, you were there. We saw the pink shoes or whatever it was in the first half and then change back in the second half. Cam Bates, who I really like and think has a lot of talent, but the drops have been an issue for him as well. They might win that Fresno game if he doesn't drop the Maddox Madsen. That could have been a 70-yard touchdown before Maddox Madsen got hurt. He had 7 targets and I think only 1 catch in that game, so 13 between the two of them. We've talked a lot about Ben Ford being out. I mean, Chase Penry had a heck of a game and is becoming a reliable guy, but with Maddox back, how does that impact the receivers, and what do you want to see from the receivers tonight?
That's the scariest part of this football game for me, and frankly, and I don't say this lightly because it kind of hurts me to say it, but the wide receiver group has just been really underwhelming this year, and individually and as a group. And they need to come through tonight. What we saw in Logan last week was not right, guys. It's not right at all. And it's been going all season long. You're right, 100% right. If Cam Bates catches that pass against Fresno State, that may change the trajectory of this entire football season, not just that game. And you can't drop the ball as much as you would. Chris Marshall is so much into his head right now, changing his shoes at halftime, drops here, drops there. Am I great? Am I bad? I mean, everything's going through this guy's head. I maybe get Chris Marshall involved early, because Chris Marshall can be a difference maker if you can get him positive and if you can get him some momentum. If you can get him a couple of easy catches early in this first half, maybe that continues to grow. They need a wide receiver superstar, even though I said Maddox Madsen doesn't need to beat UNLV passing. He just needs to be clean, but he needs one wide receiver that can come out, whether it's Bates in a safe kind of space or Chris Marshall doing what Chris Marshall can do. Somebody in the wide receiver room, please step up.
I'd like to see the tight ends too. I mean, we got a guy whose picture's right up here on the wall, Matt Lauder. He's a guy that I think in his last home game on the blue, Matt Wagner, has scored his first career touchdown. We obviously, he's been having a nice season. I think, Matt Lauder and the tight ends, I think in a game like this, if you're going to, maybe with the weather and stuff, maybe not take a ton of deep shots down the field, but I think Matt Lauder and Matt Wagner, the tight ends, could be a big factor tonight.
Matt Wagner blew me away the last couple of weeks and blew me away last week. And the way that guy plays football,
I did not see this, by the way. Somebody said Louder and Wagner key. I didn't steal your point there, Outdoor Sky. I honestly didn't see that. That's funny.
No, I think that fits perfectly into what we want from Maddox Madsen tonight. Absolutely. And I think, guys, I think Wagner might be better. I mean, I think he's on a better trajectory now than Matt Louder. And I only say that because Matt Louder hasn't had the expectations of the season that we thought he might have this year. He's a good tight end, but it just hasn't worked. And what we've been seeing the last couple of weeks and last week again with Matt Wagner, I'm really excited about him for the future. I think he's bigger, stronger, faster, more physical, maybe even a little bit more athletic. Matt Wagner could be a superstar.
Do you think, though? I mean, we saw at San Diego State when it was, and that was more of a like torrential downpour and like monsoon for a good chunk of that game.
Yep.
But how do you? I mean, obviously they didn't feel good passing the ball very much in that game. And I don't know how much of that was strictly Max Cutforth, and if they played that game again and realized, after they had played the other two games and saw that he could throw, if they would have tried throwing, or if that was strictly the weather. I mean, how much do you think they're even going to try to pass tonight with Madsen back, obviously, but if it is raining, I mean, it's just certainly going to be leaning on the ground game.
You have to, and that's. I'll say that San Diego State game was on Potter, and I think he just overthought it. I mean, he came into the game with a brilliant game plan, with a brand new quarterback in the driving rainstorm. And that first quarter was called brilliantly. I think they called for 5 or 6 passes for Max Cutforth, a couple of drops, and it just didn't work. And then I think Nate Potter kind of panicked as a first-year play caller, and it just got away from him. But every single day since then, they've had one word that they talk about constantly down there: attack, attack, attack. And it's working. They have this attack mentality, and this offense is in a groove because they are in an attack mentality. And if they don't come out and do that again tonight, regardless of the conditions, I think that's a big mistake. So come tonight prepared for the exact same game plan you had against San Diego State. Just don't abandon it in the second quarter when things get weird. Attack, attack, attack. Tonight's a big night for Nate Potter.
You've mentioned a couple of coaches, DeMario Warren, Potter. We've mentioned Chenander. Overall, what do you think of the coaching this year? I mean, obviously, they give them a lot of credit. Won these last 2 games, got to the championship. I mean, it's to win 9 games in the regular season, to win it, or I guess this would be a postseason, but to win 9 games and win a 3rd straight championship on the blue. I mean, it would be an accomplishment, but obviously fans around here have super high expectations, Mike, and the playoff was a big goal for a lot of people around here, and rightfully so. I mean, they went in as, probably the favorite in the group of 5. And obviously the South Florida loss was just a kind of a, precursor, what we see, just the weirdness of the season and just how it wasn't going to be a typical Boise State dominant team. The Notre Dame game, I actually thought they hung and played okay, only losing by 21 there. The Fresno game and then the San Diego State game certainly are games that we're not used to seeing around here, back-to-back 7 points. So there was some ups, there was some downs. I mean, 8-4 right now, like I said, a lot of places would take that. Boise State, in a lot of fans' eyes, not good enough. I understand that, but still a chance to win a championship, still a chance to win 3 in a row.
10 games.
10 games if you win the bowl game. Like, overall, where are you at in terms of just the coaching this year and what this season could still be seen as in a lot of people's eyes?
It hasn't been Boise State's best coaching performance if you go over the last 30 years. They're not going to put this one on the mantle and say this is how you do it. And that USF game where they quote unquote weren't ready, that's kind of on the coaches. That's also on the players, but it starts with the coaches. There's been a lot of ups, there's been a lot of downs, but I think what we've seen from this football team, especially individually, I mean, look at DeMario Warren from day one. I think Tim Keene's done a really nice job with stability and an offensive line that's done a really nice job. And even the carry-ons of the world, when they get hurt, there's just always somebody plugging in and doing their job. But there's been Nate Potter kind of having his ups and downs. It's been a good season for the coaching staff. I think it's been a learning season for the coaching staff. I have said publicly in BNN columns that I think that there should be some new blood in this coaching staff, and I hope there's a couple of turnovers. I don't think it's good that you retain the entire coaching staff multiple years in a row. So maybe a little bit of fresh blood in the offseason. We'll see how it plays out, but at the end of the day, you're right, man. This team's playing for a championship. It's playing for the right to win 10 games. And I think that they're just gutting their way and grinding their way through it. That's what coaches have to do. And sometimes it doesn't look pretty, but it's working. So
you have a column up at BroncoNationNews.com, kind of some random thoughts going into this championship game. Folks can subscribe. Again, 50% off right now for the annual subscription. If you want to jump in and still get our signing day coverage and get Mike's thoughts and columns, you'll have a post-game column tonight after the game, Mike. But what were some of the takeaways or main points in your column?
Maddox Madsen is 5 feet tall. We know that 5'10" tall, not 5 feet tall. He's 5'10", and I know that that's one of the biggest angst moments of Boise State's fan base right now. Guys, Spencer Danielson has a type, and he kind of inherited Maddox Madsen, and he fell in love with Maddox Madsen, and he's very loyal to Maddox Madsen, and I get that. That's good. Fine, make it happen. And you're probably going to get Maddox Madsen for the season opener next year at Oregon, and the angst is going to continue. But keep this in mind. Spencer Danielson has a type when it comes to quarterbacks. Every other quarterback on his roster right now is over 6 feet tall. The 2 new quarterbacks that he recruited on signing day on Wednesday are both over 6 feet tall. He had 4 quarterbacks committed over the last couple of years, and they all decommitted and went to bigger programs. Every single one of them were over 6 feet tall. And I'm talking like 6'1" to 6'5". Spencer Danielson, even though he's playing Maddox Madsen, wants a 6'3" pocket passer who can go out there and do what he has to do. And that's the future of the Boise State quarterback room. So we're going to ride this out with Maddox Madsen. Hopefully he can keep getting better and do what he has to do. But for those of you who don't like Maddox Madsen because of his height, or Spencer Danielson because of his decisions regarding Maddox Madsen, there is a brighter future. I think after Maddox Madsen's career is done, whenever it is, and I hope he's here for another year, and I hope he's successful. After that, guys, I think Boise State's going to have 6'2", 6'3" quarterbacks. That's the quarterback room of the future.
Well, we're going to have Jim Sturk join us here. We'll have him pull up a chair and come on and talk to us for a few minutes about the toy drive and some cool things that they got going on. And then I want to get your final keys and a prediction here before we get out of here. But I want to tell you about a couple other great sponsors while Jim's coming and grabbing a chair. Maybe, can we slide over a little bit, Mike, and maybe might want to turn that vertical just so it's not blocking your view here, and we'll get Jim in with a chair. Grab a chair, Jim. Pull up. But I want to thank you. See the sponsors on the screen here. Jackson's. We appreciate them. We'll have the Jackson's postgame show, 99-cent coffee day or night from our friends at Jackson using that Let's Go Rewards app. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. Of course, Taco Bell. We appreciate them. Johnny's probably eating a breakfast quesadilla as we speak here in the Blue and Orange store, theblueandorangestore.com. Appreciate them. Get all your Boise State game day gear. And RowPaint.com, our title sponsor. We couldn't do this show without them, so appreciate RowPaint.com. 20% off all your winter painting projects from our friends at RowPaint.com. And certainly couldn't do what we do at Bronco Nation News without this man, Jim Sturk. Jim, appreciate you for having us here today, and this is probably the coolest set we've had for a live show here. Mike's over here playing with his.
He wants to get on.
You like my blue pony?
He wants to get on.
Thanks for having us out here.
Yeah, this is a good setup we have with the toys, and it's always great having you guys come out and do your show here.
No, I'm not sure all your sales folks enjoy me and Mike just are echoing throughout the lobby here talking about quarterback battles and everything else. But we are having fun. We've had a couple of folks bring by some toys. Somebody brought by, and Mike did notice that it was a Ford Mustang that somebody brought here as a remote control car, and then a drone that somebody brought, and then someone just stopped by and brought the what was it, the Bronco rocker, Mike?
A blue Bronco rocker.
Okay.
Yeah, very cool.
It's great. I will tell you guys. You were talking about Roger Carrion earlier.
Oh.
He and his mom last week, and I had just missed him. I had gone home for the day. They brought a freaking truckload of toys. Roger.
Wow.
I mean, our kids at Boise State are unbelievable.
It is pretty. You've done pretty well with.
They're amazing.
I mean, starting with, we were talking about Riley Smith, and he was you guys were the kind of the pioneer in the NIL era and doing commercials on the field and stuff. And he's obviously still doing a show with us at BNN, but he was a perfect one. That's kind of paved the way for you.
Yeah, it was a perfect match, and it was a great way for us to get started in that program.
And I'll never forget the first time I saw that commercial. It kind of blew me away. I go, are we really at this point of life and times? Because it was just so different. And that wasn't that long ago. And now it seems like it's just so normal.
Oh yeah.
And it's growing, and it's spectacular, and the kids are getting what they've been due for a long time. So I love what you guys do, and I love what the community does in return, because guys like Roger Carrion, I mean, you have him as a personal thing. I mean, last week as a football player, just picking himself up on the ground. I mean, unbelievable. Animal's a great word.
Yeah.
Cage Casey as well. You have a deal with Latrell Caples, Matt Lauder.
We're gonna have to write a check with Cage and his.
I was gonna tell you about that. So the Boise Rescue Mission, Cage Casey is said that he would give up $300. Him and his wife, $300 of their own hard-earned money to. And this is kind of why NIL is cool. People can talk about having nice cars and all that kind of stuff, but Cage Casey and his wife giving back $300 of their own money per pancake block. 20 pancake blocks was the number. So 6,000. Think about a college kid giving $6,000 of his own money to back to the Boise Rescue Mission. You guys agreed to match that $6,000, and then Kenzie McMillan, I believe, was over $5,000. The soccer player, you guys matched her goals and assists for a charity.
For us, but other sponsors joined in with Kenzie's deal, and
almost $40,000. Right?
We handed a check for $39,000.
Oh,
wow!
Yeah,
those are expensive pancakes.
Wow.
Yeah. So Cage's deal, when I saw that, I texted him and I said, "Hey, can I please fund that for you?" And he goes, nope. He goes, but you can match it.
How about that?
I'll
Wow.
match it.
Wow.
He wanted to fund it.
Wow. So yeah, that was you guys are matching the 6,000. You're not doing it for does the championship game count tonight? I mean, can we get another? Okay. All right. Let's get 2 or 3
the
more.
LA Bowl
All
next
week. Not the Frisco Bowl, but we'll count the LA Bowl.
I love that idea. Keep thinking that thought, guys.
But I mean, you think about that, Cage, and I don't know what the total was. I mean, if anybody else was matching that, but I know Kenzie was taking matches. You're talking about almost $40,000 for a female soccer player at Boise State. You never would have thought of someone like that having the platform suddenly to be able to raise $40,000 for charity. You mentioned what Cage Casey's doing. There's a lot of other athletes as well. I mean, that is a small portion of this that I think is a very big deal that a lot of times goes untalked about.
As we move forward in that NIL space, we're going to make sure that there's a piece of that with every athlete that we do. Whatever they choose that they're behind, we're going to do something to create some more excitement that way.
That's pretty cool. And they're going to be here tomorrow, 2:00, 2 to 4 tomorrow. So hopefully, as I told Mike, you guys can get the win tonight and then come celebrate tomorrow, 2:00. Bring a toy if you can to the toy drive. And from 2 to 4, it's all 4 of them, right? You're going to have Matt Lauder, all those guys, Cage Casey, Latrell Caples, and who's Roger Carry-On, all coming tomorrow.
Yeah, we invited the other athletes to come out and hang out too. So you might get to meet Shannon or Kenzie and Lily. They'll all be in town.
Sweet.
Julian, I think
they're playing tomorrow. Yeah, they're in Butler. They'll be playing at Butler tomorrow. Okay. So but maybe have the game on one of the TVs here. You can be here in spirit. But so that'll be 2:00 to 4:00 tomorrow, right here at Lithia Ford of Boise. I think they're gonna have some mini footballs to sign and some other. You can get some pictures and autographs.
A lot of stuff.
And you got 6
we're gonna give
footballs
some
here.
away. Yeah,
you got 6 footballs. You're gonna
some that are signed. Yeah.
By the way, shout out Jamie. She does a tremendous job. Jamie Drake.
She does good.
She's doing a tremendous job of doing a lot of this and helping out, and we appreciate her help. But I heard you're going to have a couple of those footballs to raffle off tomorrow as well. So have we talked to Lou? Can we get the trophy here? Come on.
You know what? I'll talk to him. I'll give it a shot. I mean, where's
of
it
all
gonna?
The people that ask for the trophy, I think Jim would be near the top.
Where's
of the
it going to
list
go
here.
for a while?
Yeah,
right? I mean, it's not. They don't. I mean,
it'll be sitting on Spencer's desk from 2 to 4 tomorrow. You might as well use it.
Might as well.
We'll win the game first, and then let's make that happen.
Yeah.
But what do you make just about this season, Jim? Obviously, you went to some of these games on the road, and just the weirdness of a season. It hasn't been a typical Boise State season, but here they are in the championship game.
Yeah, and 8-4, and gosh, that's terrible, is it? But it's not.
That's not a bad floor.
It's not.
It's not a bad floor.
We're just so used to what they bring for us, and we get a little bit spoiled. But I think it's a great season. Yeah, ups and downs, and some injuries, and tough stuff, and stuff that we're not used to. But that's why we get to enjoy the Ashton Genty seasons that that come and go, right? And so maybe next year we land right back on our feet and we're fine.
How you feeling about the game tonight?
Oh, I think they'll blow them up. I think that's just how they handle UNLV. UNLV comes in just a little bit overconfident, and what always happens, we blow them up.
Well, I tell you what always happens: 10 straight victories by an average margin of 21.2 points.
That's what I mean. We always blow them up. So I just think we will. We'll take care of number 10.
And maybe I'm thinking about this. Maybe this is wrong to think about, but I mean, they practice down where it's 75 degrees and sunny. They play in a dome. A lot of these are SEC transfers that play in the South where it's warm. I mean, I don't know how many of them have played a ton of games in 35-degree weather and rain.
No, I agree with that. Yeah, absolutely.
They want to beat us so bad. They will be overly nervous. I just think they'll have a hard time with us. What,
Mike, are your keys to the game tonight?
Well, first of all, Maddox Madsen being clean. I mean, that's a big one. And again, I don't need him to be a rock star. I just need him to be clean. Make sure that Jet Thomas doesn't explode. I've been waiting all season long because that guy's a really good running back, and he's had some success this year, but he's really been up and down. And I don't need him exploding for 250 yards against Boise State tonight. I think Boise State's front has had its challenges this year, but I think they're physical enough where they can take care of business. And we've all fell in love with the back half of Boise State's defense. So I'm not too worried about those guys anymore, even with some personnel losses. Calandria is going to get his shots. He's good. That's why he's the Mountain West Player of the Year. But I think Boise State's going to get more. This is a mental game. And I think Boise State, especially after what we saw last week in Utah State, the guts, the mind game, the mindset of this football team, they are on a mission, and I don't think they're going to let tonight get away from them.
Yeah, I don't think last week, you think back about the Utah State game, I don't think at any point they were worried about I think they knew they were going to win the game.
Boy,
that's kind of how I felt. I mean, it was a little nerve-wracking. I just think the players were like, yeah, we'll get this.
And they did.
We got it.
They did. And it was amazing to watch the last couple minutes and watch it unfold, because that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. Well, it should be a lot of fun, and Jim, it took toy drive and helping kids, but if you never thought you'd see the day of Mike Prater in a Ford hat, but we.
Hey, I did the car karaoke thing. I did the hybrid truck karaoke thing this season.
Yes, you did. Yes,
that
you
was
did.
a lot of fun.
It's a good hat.
It's a good looking hat.
Yes.
I busted that. I left the BNN hat at home. I said, "Screw BJ's hat. I'm wearing yours."
I like it. I like it. I got this hat from Kim when we bought our F-150 here a couple years ago. We were standing over there, and I said, "That looks like a pretty nice hat," and she gave it to me or bought it for me. So I like this hat. I like this hat a lot. So Jim, we really appreciate you for having us. Like I said, we've had 3 toys show up just during the show, and I know you got 5 or 6 bins here full. So hopefully through Monday, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Folks can bring toys. And what's the plan for the toys? Do we know exactly how we're going to who gets them or how we're going
to the Marine group that does the
Toys for Tots. Okay,
that's what it is.
Right.
And I believe KTIK is the sponsor of our piece, right?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
Proud to do business with you on that. And it's a good time of year to be doing that kind of stuff. And the collision of a football game tonight in the holiday season, it's a spectacular time to be alive, my friend.
It's pretty cool. And hopefully, like I said, should be fun tonight for the game. Jim, appreciate you. Try to stay dry tonight. And it's been a fun couple of days, getting ready for this game, and going to be a fun, day tonight as well. So again, tomorrow, 2 to 4, come up here and meet the NIL athletes, the football players, and who knows, you may even get a picture with the championship trophy if they can get that win tonight. But 2 to 4, and bring a toy if you can, and help out a good cause and those in need. And if you can't make it tomorrow, you have through Monday's end of business day to bring a toy as well. And as we said, there'll be autographs tomorrow. They're going to raffle off some footballs, pictures. Going to be a lot of fun tomorrow, and should be fun tonight as well. So thanks to Jamie, thanks to Jim for having us out. Prater, appreciate you.
Appreciate you having me, guys.
Should be fun tonight, man.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Well, we got plenty of coverage to come. I know you guys are doing your show 3 to 6 in the Hall of Fame Plaza, the Ford Plaza, correct?
The Ford Hall of Fame Plaza.
Yes.
3 to 6. You're going to show up at 4:15. We got Gloria Navarez, Ahmed Hassanin's going to show up. So we're going to have a lot of fun time. But those. Ahmed Hassanin, Gloria Navarez, and BJ Rains. Is that a rock star lineup or not?
There's one doesn't belong. I may be on the air at the same time as you, so we may have to figure something out though. We can do that off air. We'll be over at the James at 3:00 as well. So maybe stop by, say hello to us, go see Prater and Johnny there in the Ford Plaza. Dress warm, bring a poncho, and be loud tonight. Should be a lot of fun. Mountain West Championship game, Boise State, UNLV. Again, we'll be live 3:00 over at the James Kitchen and Bar. Join us there for our pregame show. You can listen to Prater in the ball game 3:00 as well. And enjoy it, folks. It's going to be a fun day. We'll see you down at Albertson Stadium in a couple hours. Boise State looking for 3 straight Mountain West championships. And we'll see you tomorrow at Lithia Ford of Boise as well. Thanks, everybody. Take care.